Okay, if you have ever gone through a difficult time, raise your hand. How about a breakup? How about that? Or job loss. You've probably heard phrases, oh, it gets better, stay optimistic. But if that's all you're hearing from your friends and loved ones, that excess of positivity it'll drive you crazy. It's negative. Mental health experts actually have a name for it. They call it toxic positivity. Aha! How do you know if you're doing it? And how can you recognize if it's happening to you? Here to discuss is a psychotherapist, Dr. Robi Ludwig, friend of the show and friend to me. I'm so glad that we're talking about this. Now, this is toxic positivity isn't somebody with a cheery disposition or somebody who has a positive outlook. That's not what we're talking about here.
No, it's when someone is almost pain phobic. So they have a hard time either dealing with their own intense emotions or a friend's difficult emotions. And in order to not experience the pain, they try to instruct their friend or friends to feel positive, to know that everything will work out in the end. And it really is invalidating, even though the intention is good.
Okay, how can we identify it when it's happening to us?
Well, I think if you are putting pressure on yourself to feel good or to feel positive when you're going through a loss or difficult emotion, then you might be doing this to yourself, or you might be doing it to a friend. The truth is, life has joyful moments, but it also has painful moments. Yes. And the goal is really to have all of our emotional experiences, to have them, to sit with them, and let them pass. And there's actually power in pain, which we very often forget. And the power is it can be instructive. We can ask ourselves, what do I want? What do I want to create for myself? And how do I get there? So when you're hearing somebody going through a tough time, the best thing you can do is really to listen to them and to validate.
Wow, listening. It is something that we have gotten out of the practice of doing, it seems.
And it really is the best way to go because everyone is different when they're going through a difficult time. So that's why it's good to say something like this. Wow, I hear you're going through a tough time. We have all been there. I'm so sorry to hear this. Thank you for sharing this with me. Is there anything I can do? Is there any way that I can help? And then listen to what your friend needs from you. That can be incredibly powerful instead of saying, it's all going to work out in the end, because that gives your friend the feeling that they're not entitled to their emotion.
Right. And that you're not hearing them.
Like, successfully, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. I think oftentimes, and I have done this too many times to the people I love, is that I'm a problem solver, and I like to help people brainstorm about how we can fix whatever's going on. Maybe it's the breakup. Let's get you back out there. Or you've lost a job. Okay, let's brainstorm together. That's not always what they want or need.
Well, that's true. I mean, I think that's, as friends, we want to fix, right?
Yeah.
We want to make everyone happy. But you can do that as long as you acknowledge the dark time first. Like saying, I hear you're frustrated and I don't blame you. What is something you can do for yourself that might be helpful towards your goal of getting that job or getting a boyfriend or earning more money? As long as you don't invalidate a person's emotional experience, then it's okay to point out things that people can do to make their life better.
I really want to go back to that point that you made, that we are a collection of all of those feelings, right? All of those, a healthy person that is pretty well balanced, that has their feet under them, experiences all of those emotions, but doesn't let any one of them run away with them terribly.
True, there is a tendency to make certain feelings positive, happy, right? Feelings are positive, and certain feelings negative. Depression, negative. Anxiety, negative.
Anger, negative, right.
Anger, negative, depending on who you are. But the truth of the matter is all of our feelings are not good or bad. They're all information. They're information to guide us as to who we are, what works for us, what doesn't work for us. So if we can shift from seeing our feelings as either good or bad and to see them as helpful information, as guides, if you will, then we really are altering the conversation, which we probably should be doing culturally anyway.
Sure. I can see another place where if you're trying to move away from toxic positivity behavior, you might make the mistake of putting the onus on the other person that is in the struggle, that is going through the hard time, to tell us what they need. Sometimes they can't articulate it in the moment. If you're in such pain, or if you're if you're just stuck, I remember feeling that way. That is such an awful feeling, just stuck. You can't articulate it.
Right. So some people don't know what they need. And studies have shown if you just allow someone to talk, it really helps them to feel better. Or sometimes people can write out their feelings and learn more about themselves. That's why it's a little bit intuitive. You have to use your judgment about what you will work with your friends. So sometimes just listening or sending that text, I'm here for you, I'm thinking of you, is really very powerful.
Yeah, especially right now, there's so many people that are struggling in various different ways. Maybe it's financial. Maybe you've had an elderly family member just get diagnosed with COVID, which is a situation in my circle. And I want to support those friends, letting them know, checking in on them, not trying to fix it or just wipe out their feelings. Robi, this has been so instructive. I cannot thank you enough for this. You've caused me to make some corrective moves in my own life. Happy holidays to you. You stay safe, and we'll talk with you again soon, okay?
Good. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Robi.